Hi, my name's Sue Dewhirst and I'm a director of Evolve Design Limited. This vlog that we've produced for you is about the different types of insulation and air tightness systems and the fact that one size doesn't always fit all. Evolve Design was established in 2007 and we are chartered architectural technicians and certified passive house designers. And we also offer SAP energy assessments. So we're able to design and certify your home for you if you're looking for a low energy house. We design bespoke and low energy homes up to passive house standards using either standard traditional, timber frame, SIPs and different building systems. But what we're able to offer you is a complete turnkey solution from you giving us a plot of land to us handing back a set of keys. In this blog, we're going to be looking about insulation, where it's used, what to use, and the fact that one size doesn't fit all. Because what we're wanting to do is to reduce air movement so that your home stays warm and also doesn't lose energy. Thermal bridging and thermal insulation is extremely important when you're designing your home. You want to have a continuous layer of thermal insulation coupled with a continuous air tightness layer to the inside of the insulation. Insulation plays a vital part in eliminating thermal bridging, which also can create condensation. So we want to make sure that the insulation is continuous to give you that tea cozy effect. You're putting your overcoat on. And that's really the way to think of it. If you're cold, you put a jumper on. If you're cold and wet, you put a coat on. And that's how you need to build your home. So let's look at the different rates of insulation. What we're looking at here is a product that stops the energy moving through the structure. When a room is heated, the fabric warms up and then releases that energy back into your living space. And that's the effect of thermal mass. Insulation, though, is designed for lots of different applications, and the manufacturers of the products have designed these products specifically for set reasons. So a mineral wool will have been designed to fit exactly between timber frame studs at 600mm centres, because they know that during the drying process your timber frame studs are likely to shrink back. So you need an insulation that has been compressed into that void so that it can expand out. Rigid insulation isn't always able to do that, and it does also need to be taped to all the joints. Likewise though, if you were to have an insulated floor, it might be better to use a petrochemical based material, which gives you a much better thermal performance and also has a much better density and is able to take a concrete floor screed. So it's really about matching the application with a product that's right for the job. So when you use the wrong insulation in the wrong environment, you often may as well not bother at all. Here in this timber frame, you can see that the insulation has been cut so badly that there are huge gaps around. This means that air can get in and due to convection will circulate with cold air, so the insulation may as well not be there at all. It's also a good idea when you're designing, especially with timber frame, to have the surfaces separate from your insulation and air tightness layers by forming a service void on the internal leaf. This means that any maintenance that needs to be done can be achieved without interfering with the insulation and air tightness layers. In cavity wall construction, you need to make sure that the insulation fits tightly against the inner leaf. Again, it's no use if you've got any air gaps there. These could be formed due to mortar snots on the outside of the internal leaf. But unless that's all cleaned off and the insulation is able to fit tightly against that wall, you may as well save your money and not fit anything. Again though, that could be to use a mineral wool product might be a better option where it's able to form itself against those mortar snots so that you're not getting the air movement. It's about choosing which product to use and the right one for the right application. So you will have products that can be used below damp-proof membrane. so that they don't absorb water. You'll have ones that expand so that when they're fit under tension, they can expand out. So make sure you're getting a product that is fit for that purpose. Insulation for cavity walls has to be British Board of Agreement approved. So please don't just use any product because it happens to be cheap, because cheap doesn't always give you good value. If we now take a look at air tightness, what we're trying to do here is to reduce the amount of air that you're heating up and then losing through gaps, cracks, holes, etc. in the building fabric. We don't want to be costing you any more money. We want to be capturing that heated air and capturing the energy to heat the cool air coming into your building by using good mechanical ventilation systems. We don't want to be losing that warm air because then the efficiencies of your ventilation system won't be working. So with your air tightness, again, it's detailing. It's about making sure that you know where you're going to have products penetrating through your air tightness layers and looking to see how that you can minimize that risk and what products are about to give you a complete air tightness seal. People don't realize, but if we just take an instance of a standard timber frame construction, now this wall will have been designed to give a U value of around 0.3, but by just introducing a 1 mil gap into this, increases that U value to over 1. So it can be up to 5 times less efficient. So again, the house that you think you're building is not performing in the way it should be because you're introducing air movement into that insulation layer. It is so important to keep that insulation layer airtight so that it can do the job it's there and designed to do. It's the same reason that thermal bridging is so important, not just to give you that continuous insulation layer, but also to make sure that you're not having any air leakage through that wall to floor junction. How many old homes have you been in where you've seen dirty carpets around the skirting boards? And that's due to air movement. And most people then think they need to improve their insulation to get a better comfort level, when really what they need to do is looking at their air tightness policy. There are products and systems out there to give you that complete air tightness layer, and they've been tested and proven to last the lifetime of the home. We usually look at using the Proclima range of products that have proprietary tapes and membranes and grommets that have been designed specifically for set applications. So you can see here the membranes that are used to install the window into that hole in your wall. These are there to give you the air tightness that you need. And they've also been designed, though, with a fleece backing so that they can be adhered into that plaster surface. These are all fit for purpose. This isn't. Gaffer tape and squirty foam really do not work. They may last for a few weeks whilst the building's being air tested and handed over to you, but they are not going to last the lifetime of your build. And when you're spending the amount of money on getting your dream home built, please make sure it's done properly. So again, what you need to do is to take a section through your building. Look at all the areas where you've got things penetrating. It could be a toilet cistern, a window, a flue from a wood-burning stove. And look at how you're going to create an air tightness seal around those. It's all about planning and detailing beforehand. If you're using masonry construction, it could be that you don't want to use membranes and tapes, and a direct plaster finish will give you exactly the same result. You just need to make sure that your plasterer will plaster behind your bath, your cistern and your stairs, and not just plaster up to things. Again, this has got to be a continuous air tightness layer, and anything penetrating needs to be sealed around them using designed grommets. Ventilation, when you have very good air tightness and high levels of insulation, is really a necessity. And if you've got good levels of air tightness, and that's below 3 air changes per hour, then really it makes sense to have that coupled with heat recovery. So the MVHR, mechanical ventilation and heat recovery systems, not only capture the energy, but they also then provide you with a healthy living environment. We want to make sure that you've got good, clean, warm air coming in and dirty, cold air going out, so that you're not having to reheat that cold air coming in. It makes good sense. And you can see from this diagram how it works. The mechanical ventilation system has a heat exchange unit which captures and extracts from places like your utility rooms, bathrooms, shower rooms, captures the energy in that warm air, extracts out the cold, dirty air, and warms up the clean, cold air coming in, so that you're always having a fresh living environment. Air testing is required for building regulations, and for building regs we need to be below 5 air changes. But really, if you can get below 3, you're going to be noticing a much better comfort level, but also a much better living environment. But plan where you're going to put your ventilation system. Please don't stuff it into the eaves or in the attic, because this needs to be maintained. It needs to have its filters changed. So make sure that you always have access to it. Because what we're looking at really overall is about controlled gains and controlled losses. We want to utilise the solar gains that you get from having good windows and good orientation of your home, and with controlled losses by having good building fabric with mechanical ventilation and heat recovery. So what will you choose to do? What we'd like to advise you is to spend money on what can save you money by putting fabric first. In our next vlog, we'll be talking about renovation. But in the meantime, if there's any information you'd like from us, please do call us or contact us through our emails or website. We want to help you at every stage of your project, from concept to completion. We're there just when you need us. Thank you.